Hi everyone, my name is Maria Contreras and the book that I'm going to be reading is called We Shall Overcome, the Story of a Song. And it's illustrated by Vanessa Brantley and it's written by Levy. We shall overcome. I'll be alright, I'll be alright, I'll be alright someday. Back in slavery times when we enslaved people worked long days with no pay and no say. No freedom, no fairness, no choice, no chance, the people sang. They suffered yet they sang to soothe the hurt, to fight the cruelty, to declare that yes, they were human beings. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe I'll be alright someday. I'll overcome someday. I'll overcome someday. If in my heart I do not yield, I'll overcome someday. It took a war, the Civil War, to end slavery, but even after, white people treated black people as less than fully human, excluding them, ignoring them, blaming them, even attacking them, all because of the color of their skin. Black people were no longer slaves. It was true, but they were not truly free. Still, they believed things would get better. Still, they sang. We will overcome, we will overcome, we will overcome someday. It wasn't easy to believe. It wasn't easy when white people shout out, African Americans from good jobs and good pay, schools and libraries and neighborhoods, restaurants and hotels and bathrooms, train cars and bus seats, playgrounds and parks. But black Americans and some white Americans did believe they could overcome the unfairness, hate, and violence. They started to protest. They brought a church song, I Will Overcome, to the streets. But since they were marching and working together, they sang, We will overcome, we together will overcome. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we will overcome someday. From the streets, the song reached the ears of the city people, country people, followers, and leaders. It reached Martin Luther King, the most important leader working for justice for African Americans. He took the song with him in his heart. Everywhere he traveled, the words changed a little, but the spirit stayed the same. We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. There were many forms of race hatred and many ways to fight it. Some students fought by sitting down in restaurants and asking to be served. They didn't ask for free food, they didn't want special service, they just wanted to buy a meal. Like any white person could. The students sat and sat, waiting for hamburgers and donuts and sodas that never came. The students sat and waited until they were arrested, and as they were taken away to jail, they sang, We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. More and more people decided to stand up for the rights for African Americans. One small group, the Freedom Singers, traveled 50,000 miles in 9 months to living rooms, concert halls, elementary schools, jails, high schools, and rallies, bringing We Shall Overcome to people in 40 states, inspiring them to believe that change was coming. We are not alone. We are not alone, and we are not alone today. The biggest gathering of people united in support of fairness for African Americans took place in the nation's capital. Marching towards their Lincoln Memorial, hundreds of thousands of people, black and white and young and old, joined hands, joined voices, and sang, we'll walk hand in hand, we'll walk hand in hand, we'll walk hand in hand someday. Slowly, things were changing. Laws were passed, but race hate just stayed strong, even stronger than laws. So President Lyndon Johnson gave a speech. His ancestors once held slaves in Texas and Georgia, but President Johnson looked out at the millions of people watching him on television, spoke of equal rights, human rights, and voting rights for African Americans, and recited the words of the song, "We must overcome the crippling legacy of bigotry and injustice, and we shall overcome." How could such a song stay in one country? It could not. "We shall overcome" sailed across the oceans to other countries where people faced injustice. It traveled to South Africa, where Black African Americans embraced it as their own freedom song in their long struggle against all white government that traced them an outcast in their own land. Black and white together, black and white together, black and white together someday. We will live in peace, we will live in peace, we will live in peace someday. The song traveled to India, East Germany, South Korea, Slovakia, Northern Ireland, Bangladesh, China, the Middle East, South America, wherever people work for a better life. Even as it spread across the globe, the song never really left its American home. It took a very long time, but race hatred did grow weaker. Freedom grew stronger. President Lyndon Johnson was followed by another president and another and another and another and another and another. And then the people of the United States, black and white, young and old, elected an African American man to be their president. On that day, people sang the song that so many voices had sung before, in pain and in protest. On that day, they sang in happiness. "Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday." Today, people still struggle against hatred and freedom, against poverty and the fairness, against despair and for hope. We still sing. We sing to declare that, yes, we are all human beings, deserving of respect, sharing the same planet, the same future together. The life we shall overcome. No single day marks the birth of the song "We Shall Overcome." No single person and its author, no single performance was the first. Rather, we shall overcome in the product of many voices singing familiar songs over many years and many places. As the songs passed from one person to another, the word and the melodies changed, but the message of hope and determination stayed the same. Here are some notable milestones in the life of this song. So it started in the 1800s, 1865, 1900s, early 1900s, 1940s, 1957, early 1960s, 1962. So this is like the images of how it slowly started to progress. And then 1963, 1964, 1965, 1967, right here, 1970s, 1986, 1989, 2001, 2008. And that's it.